Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Why am I hiding? Okay, I hope my system is working all right this evening. Everyone, you can hear me loud and clear. And if you can hear me loud and clear, I may wish to know where you are watching me right now from. If you can hear me loud and clear, I may wish to know where you are watching me live and direct from. So let's see what's going to happen this evening. This evening, quickly and briefly, before you go to bed, I know before I start, I will say Happy Children's Day today. Happy Children's Day. Oh, I already have Tochi watching me from Oka, the capital of Anambra State. Tochi, can you tell us if Oka is very quiet and whoa? I have Greg Uzama here from the United States of America, Aloku from India, Musa Jimon. Thank you. I appreciate Musa Jimon. It gives me joy to know that I do not have only the wise people from the East watching. I have also a brilliant Musa from Ireland, you know, and I can see one of my in laws. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, everyone. Look at Wando and many people watching from United Kingdom. Rosemary Oladipo. Oladipo, are you related to Oladipo dear? From the United Kingdom, watching from Italy, Kingsley. Wow, wow. Same here. Thank you very much, Rosemary. Chris is watching from Ireland, Ebuka from Lagos. So before I start, I will say a happy Children's Day. You know, I cracked a joke before now. I got a message. I cracked a joke before now that I got a message from Access Bank telling me, Mr. Ezoke, happy Children's Day. And I'm like, I no blame you. You're wishing me happy Children's Day. After saying my age, I blame my account. My account is actually in the region of where that of children is. That's why you look me with all this my white beer, and you send me a message saying happy Children's Day. I don't blame you. I'll be children for your because of my account balance. Don't worry. Somebody that is watching might actually say, Maz, don't worry, bring that account. We will wire maybe 20 million, you know, so that they will stop sending you such messages. So, on a lighter note, I will say thank you once more for joining me this evening. We have a couple of conversations to have this evening, and many of you from Europe, I think today is public holiday, and some of you Monday will be your public holiday to celebrate the Children's Day. Grace Ugbelase says she is from Cambridge. Oh, I know Cambridge. I have people in Cambridge. You know, I know Cambridge very well. That is near Peterborough. Some say Petersburg. I think. So, thank you very much. Once you have a child, you are once you have a mother, you are a child. Yes, but what if your mother dies like mine? Mine died in 1995. So my mother died in 1995. So what do I? You call me an orphan child or orphaned child? Mazi, have you seen the video? They are saying shot any woman or man. No, I haven't. I don't know what is it the Tinubu's video? I don't know. Anyway, watching from Halle. Wow, that is interesting. Someone from Halle. Jesus Christ, where is it? You know, Halle, I was offered admission at the university, I think it's Technical University Halle. Then, you know what put me off from Halle? Halle has, you know, Germany, Halle is one of those Eastern Bloc city. They really have a hell lot of racism there. That was the only reason why I didn't go. I was somehow kind of the only reason why I actually applied this is a confession. The only reason why I actually applied to go to Halle was because that was the school my mentor went to, Chuba Okadibo, the late Chuba Okadibo, the Oyi of Oyi. Ah, man, Nigeria has lost things, or rather I would say the Igbo nation has lost things, lost great men. You know, sometimes yesterday I was actually thinking, assuming Chuba Okadibo, and again, Chuba lost his son, Pharaoh, within the week. I think over the weekend. He was using it, you know, we was driving and I think he rammed into a packed trailer and he died. May his soul rest in peace. Pharaoh Okadibo, you know, it's been a tragedy for the family. Lost the dad, and here lost his life as well. Please look at the video and share to our people. It leaked today from the army headquarters. Honestly, I don't know. You have my number here. If you can share that to Njenje Media Studio, this number is on the screen. I do not have the video you're talking about. If it's a video, fine. But again, if it's audio, I would probably not pay too much attention to it because honestly, we are producing a lot of crap these days. You know, everyone is just sitting in one corner claiming to be Mr. XYZ and sharing information to panic people. Anyway, that's by the way. Once more, I say, may the soul of Pharaoh Okadibo rest in peace. Just brought me to attention now because of the person watching from Halle. You know, Halle in Zalz. Whoa, Halle is. I went there once. I went to the Kneipe once. You know what they call Kneipe again? What's Kneipe? Kneipe is the British call it pub. I think the Americans call it bar. So I went to the Kneipe, which is the bar. Man, the way they were looking at me, you know, this kind of look that you think if you don't work out now, these skinheads are going to skin you alive. You know, racism everywhere. But I think Germany is getting better. So let us get to the meat of the matter today, people. There are a couple of things I want to talk about. One is that we now have a new what do I call him? A new chief of army staff. And that is in the person of Yahaya. When you talk about Yahaya, it's not Yahaya Bello. It's not the one in Kogi. His name is Yahaya. But in his appointment, there is something that is very worrying. Again, I told somebody today in one of the WhatsApp platforms, do not bother yourself because Buhari is so predictive. You can predict him. You know what he's going to do next. So once the COS left, you could predict that he was going to get certain persons in. And apparently he hasn't failed in that. He hasn't failed. There is a video I got this evening. They said this is the video of the chief of army staff basically celebrating with his men. And this is, you know, you can just have a look.
We'll go back to our normal places. Commitment and dedication, we can do it.
So what he's trying to tell them is that, you know, kind of a morale booster that they're going to win this war. And honestly, I wish that...
so thank you so very much for everything. Listen to God. So God, inshallah, will bring this war to an end. We'll go back to our normal places. Commitment and dedication, we can do it. So thank you so very much for everything.
So basically here you have our the soldiers being happy, so to say. I was told that that's him. But here is what is worrying me. Again, I look at things slightly different. This is what is worrying me. My good friend and a senior you know, a senior of that, had the following to say. I was following a conversation playing out between what Professor Chidi Odinkalo, I wish I'm a professor, but man, I don't too old. I can't even go on. But I was following the conversation between Professor Chidi Odinkalo and Ngozi, Obi Ezekwesili, you know, Madam Due Process, another great sister. Some of you would disagree, but when you meet people on close range, aside the TV you watch them from, then you probably begin to understand what I mean here. So let me quickly pull this up. So the reason why I'm bringing this up here is very simple. He said here, Professor Chidi Odinkalo here says the following, so that I bring it up so that, you know, it's bolder. He says here, the new chief of defense, or rather chief defense staff, Irabo, of the Nigerian information, blah, 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 that is the regiment, the class that they were class 34. Now, the late chief of army staff from the Nigerian army is, or rather was, class 35. Okay? Now, the new chief of army staff is class 37. That means, where is class 36 and where is class 36 before you get to 37? Now, Professor Odinkalo is now questioning, why would you prefer this person as opposed to the people in 35 and the people in 36? He's now insinuating that his preferment will lead to the retirement of all members of 35 and 36 cohorts still in service. So we have generals who probably are not from the north that are in the 30, I mean, say it the way it is. We will have generals who are not from the north that are in service 36, service 35, that they will not be considered, and they were not considered. What it means, so that it will now be as if their junior is now above them. What is likely to happen is to see that these men will be gone. That these men will be gone. And that is honestly, when I looked at it and I said, that is somehow silly. Honestly. So someone now came here and do more clarifications. He said, Chidi, Buratai Tuko was 29, Irabo 34, Attahiru 35 too. Now, their preferment also led the retirement of all. Jesus Christ! So when you look at how these things happen, you know, you keep wondering, why are we like this? Even when some people are arguing, some people are saying that, well, it's not the way it looks. But I think here, let me quickly pull this up here, please. Okay, let me quickly. I don't know what happened there. I kind of missed it. But bottom line here, okay, irrespective of if I'm not able to okay, let me quickly see if I can get back to that, because I wanted to share a view by our other sister as well. Or should I? Madam Due Process, maybe I will go to her own Twitter page in order to get this. She also was for me not to waste time here, she was basically questioning the whole point. She was questioning Obi Ezekwesili. She was questioning if this is true, what will be the implication. So the implication is that you say that a lot of people will retire. Then I asked myself, it's just like I had the same problem when Hamid Ali was brought out, or Cornell actually put that in better perspective. Colonel Hamid Ali was, he was brought back from retirement to head the customs. And I started asking myself, why would we be doing something like this? Why would it be so comfortable for President Muhammadu Buhari to be doing something like this? It means those that are diligently serving in, rendering their services. What it will now mean is that if you are not taking bribe, you're putting on your time, your energy, hoping that you get to the point, you get to the zenith or to the peak of your career. But before you get to that point, boom, someone will go and get a man who has retired to come back to service and come and lord it over you. As other people will argue, oh, even if you're considering that the Southwest, meaning the Yorubas, whom have this port, have never headed the management of this port. Could it be the reason why, things are not entirely the way they ought to be in those places? But again, whether you like it or not, these are the questions that we must keep on hammering on. And these are questions that should be addressed. Again, I said to him, congratulations. The killings all over the country is getting ridiculously to a level that is too worrying. So, and in the other parts of Nigeria, especially in the southern part of Nigeria, the southeast and the south-south, people are dying needlessly. People are dying needlessly. Yesterday, I saw a video that broke me. A woman, a mama, maybe around 60s or either mid 60s or late 60s. She was shot in her thighs. She died in the market. And I think that incident happened in Owerri. There was another video of a young man who stray bullet hit him somewhere here, and they were trying to use tissue paper to soak the blood. The video is a couple of seconds, and they moved into the next scene. All you can see is the body of that one. That picture. All we can see is the body of that young man being taken away. That means a mom has lost her son. And you can hear from the background of that video clip, the brother was already lamenting. I mean, it's enough. Oh, Jesus Christ. We need to really, people, we need to change the narrative. While we hold government to account and the military and the police to treat us as human, I had argued when there was this protest in 2016, 2017, 2018 in Onitsha, Asaba, Aba, and all these places. My argument in 2016, 17, 18, 19 remains my argument today. People do have the right of protest. Where your right ends or starts, another one, where your rights ends is where someone's else's right starts. In doing that it is the duty of the police not to come and disperse, but rather to come and offer protection that the people must be protected while they are protesting. The people must be protected while they are protesting. But we have militarization everywhere. But that militarization is also not without, because of the insecurity we have had now. Again, I say it loud and clear, anyone or any people that are behind the recent incidences of insecurity in the South, please, we beg you. There is this argument that is not being done by the people of the South and South, that is federal government that's behind it. Please, if it is federal government, then it must be exposed. Whoever is in this madness, because it is this madness that is leading to this indiscriminate killing. It hurts me personally that the most peaceful region is now becoming the most violent, or if, not the most violent at the moment, but at least is increasingly getting out of hand. Having said that, let me now do the following analysis on the Chief of Army Staff. You cannot believe that this new Chief of Army Staff came in and Shehu Gaba was asked, why did the president not attend the funeral ceremony of the old Chief of Army Staff? And you know what Shehu Gaba said. He said that the president doesn't like, I'm not going to say it, watch him and say it himself.
Was trending on social media on Wednesday after appearing on our nightly news program Newsnight, where he defended the president's absence at the funeral of the late Chief of Army Staff, Ibrahim Attahiru, and 10 other military officers who died in a plane crash last Friday. The spokesman, when asked why the president did not attend the funeral, said, because the president does not like the idea of roadblocks and security men molesting people on the road. Let's take a listen.
Why was the president not at the burial of the Chief of Army Staff? Just a very quick answer so that we can let you go.
Well, I was in Europe myself on assignment.
You see, he didn't need to tell us he was in Europe. We don't care. Honestly, you can go to Bermuda. I don't give a hoot. Honestly, I don't. So, a simple question you were asked. You started telling us you were in Europe. Now, and this is what he then said afterwards.
I have not spoken to the president on this. But let me give you just one example. The president is somebody who is so concerned about the safety and well-being of ordinary Nigerians on the streets. Do you know why he now prays his Jumu'at in the State House? He doesn't go to the National Mosque because he doesn't like this idea of closing roads, security men molesting people, innocent people on the roads, for the president to have the right of way. These are small things for many people, but they're important for President Muhammadu Buhari.
He doesn't like people being molested when he drives on the road.
So it's a mourning situation, and the president didn't want to take away attention from that.
Okay.
He has confirmed that the president does know that people are molested on the road, and
Exactly. So the president can no longer say he's not aware. Now he is aware that people are being molested.
Instead of doing something about it, this is what he uses as an excuse.
Yes, how considerate of him, Dr. Abati.
You guys don't want to put me on the spot,
yes.
Right? If any tried it yesterday, but let me just make some comments. Look, I have this opinion, which is that it's not everything that a spokesperson responds to. Oftentimes, as a spokesperson, if you have to respond to everything, then there will be slips here and there. Garuba Shehu in that video was quoted as having said, the president doesn't like people to be molested on the road. No, presidential movement does not result in the molestation of people, and certainly, not in any part of the country. What is done, the protocol, is that if the president is going somewhere, either within the Federal Capital Territory or anywhere, the road will be shut down, right? There will be no movement during that period when the president is moving. So that particular route that he is taking will have been closed to traffic.
You see, Africa will still have a long way to go. Many of you now, if you're watching me from Singapore, you know that when your PM goes wherever he's going, nobody actually cares. He can actually speed past you don't even know. Some of you would know that. Some of you wouldn't even know when Boris Johnson in London speed past him. Some of you know when he was mayor, he could be riding bike, and he would just pass you. Someone would say Boris, and he will wave his hand. That's it. If you're in the Netherlands, you will see, go to the parliament, everyone is parking their bicycle. But here, a president wants to just go somewhere, they'll close the road. Just in the testament of Abati, because Abati is talking with a very large wealth of experience, having been in that post for a couple of years, 4 to 5 years. And you keep wondering why they treat you this way.
Right? And the moment he passes a particular point, the road is opened again. So there is even no need to molest anybody. So that must be, you know, some kind of a slip of tongue in that regard from Garuba Shehu. Second, I don't think that...
No, Ruben, that's not a slip of tongue. See, the issue is Shehu Gaba. I nearly called him garbage, but thank God I didn't call him Shehu Garbage. Thank God I didn't, you know. And Shehu Gaba always talks in a way that you keep wondering. I mean, what did you just listen now? What did you just
Nigerians will be convinced that the reason the president did not attend that funeral was because he didn't want to hold traffic. Between the villa and the National Mosque and the cemetery.
Whoa. We have 419 people watching. Please, more people should watch. I don't like this number, 419. We have 419 people watching now. Somebody should join this conversation. This number, or one person should drop. I don't like this number. It cracks me up, please.
It's a very short distance. You know, it will be movement that will be very swift and quickly.
So is it because of the 419? Is it because of the 419 that I was yanked off? Okay, thank God it's no longer 419, but something just happened now, and I don't know why it happened. But I'll bring back the Arise crew but once more. Sorry about it.
Mobile police
to give the impression again. So that in itself cannot be an excuse. Third point, Garuba Shehu said that he had not spoken to the president. He himself was in Europe. Okay, so he may not be fully apprised of the situation. So what he was expressing there was a personal opinion. But the thing about the job is that even when you are expressing a personal opinion, the public will just conclude that you are speaking for the president. And that's why, you know, in doing this job, oftentimes you have to make sure you have to be in constant touch with your principal so that you don't mislead the public in terms of what opinions you have expressed. I give you a personal experience. When I was spokesperson to President Jonathan, some people will come to me and they will say, the president, this is the position of the president on this particular matter. But I will try to double check with him. And on many occasions, he will say, well, do you speak for that person? Because I don't remember sending anybody to you. You know, so you have to constantly check with your principal so that, okay, you, even if the public reacts, you know that you have the backing of your principal in the particular matter. But beyond all of those protocol issues, administrative issues, I think the big point that Nigerians are talking about is that they expect the president to show empathy, you know, at all times, to identify with the people. And that's the big takeaway in this regard. And also, you know, signaling, symbolism is very important. Whether it is the funeral of, you know, military officers or it is any other thing. Part of the job of government is to give people hope, is to manage the optics, to give the impression that, look, the man that they have voted for, their leader feels for them, identifies with them, and at critical moments, no matter what the difficulties may be, he will show up for them. And that's why in the reactions that I've seen on social media, People have been going to the past. Oh, when this happened, President Obasanjo showed up. When that happened, President Jonathan.
So something again happened. Honestly, I do not know what is happening here. Something is not right here. But again, sorry about that. I would bring that analysis. Sorry.
They are tired
Correct.
of spokespersons. They want to hear directly from the president. And I hope that the president would, take advantage of that going forward, as he has the remaining months, during which he should consolidate his legacy. That's my free advice. I will not send them an invoice.
Very good, very good, very well said. We'll take another story. Following an explosion that rocked Ebonyi.
Okay, so, on that one, I would wrap it up here to say that my information says that there were some people who were more qualified to be appointed COAS, that is the Chief of Army Staff, but this man has been appointed. I mean, you can't fault. Like I said, I told someone, I think it was actually on Elon Bar's event, that I said, listen, I don't even want, to be honest, if you ask me, I don't want even a Southerner to accept such role. So let the mess be cleared up by those who started the mess. That's my approach. But again, Buhari, for people like me, Buhari didn't disappoint. For those that he disappointed, sorry he disappointed you. But for me, it's a track record, so to say, that he cannot disappoint me, because I wasn't even expecting him to be, for that to be something different. Now, I think the next story, ideally, I don't want to go into the next story, because I think I had already done a video yesterday clarifying that next story, that is on the incident that happened in Ebonyi State. But since they are now getting into that next story, before I get to the third one, I'll flow with them.
State on Tuesday, leading to the death of a police officer. The spokesperson for the police in the state, Lovett Oda, in a video now circulating online, told reporters that the incident was that of accidental discharge, while dispelling rumors of an attempted suicide bombing. She said the police officer accidentally discharged a hand grenade, popularly known as tear gas, which caused the explosion. Let's take a listen.
It's not suicide bombing in Ebonyi, or bomb explosion in Ebonyi. Actually, today, regrettably, a mobile police inspector, E.D. Aminu, a personnel of Mopotetitu Abakaleke, attached to Afikpo on special duty, while handling his hand grenade, which he hooked on his belt. According to them, his own elbow hit the hand grenade forcefully, and the thing exploded and killed him. Considering the security situation of the country, whosoever that's posted that video has actually caused trouble. He has misled the reading public a lot. Please let this news go very wide. Hand grenade is actually popularly known as tear gas. He hung it on his belt, and in the process, his hand.
Madam, the question that none of you have been able to answer is the question I asked yesterday. And I'm going to repeat it again for the umpteenth time here, is, do I believe that was a suicide bomber? From the forensic analysis that I'm looking at those things, I do not believe that was. But it is still very, very, still not clear. No one has been able to answer that question of what was he doing in that school? What was the officer doing in that school? Sadly, again, you have been unable, even in this video, to say what that officer was actually doing in that school. Now, people, if something was done to take out maybe 100, 200 people, and eventually you only got one person, the level of damage to that body would have been much more. Actually, we can't even find the pieces, the pieces of that individual, leading me to believe that there is something, anyway, I didn't speak to Rufai. I didn't speak to any of these guys in the studio, But what they echoed here also, so what they echoed in these videos also represent what I have said ab initio. So without even speaking to any of them, they somehow
That is something entirely different.
He has misleaded the reading public.
Sorry, so they somehow echoed that same sentiment that I have said before, that there is more to it. I cannot see people, honestly, I'm yet to put my hand to what exactly was it. You know, I think there was a video by the Honorable Commissioner of Information, Ebonyi State, reaffirming what the police said. But again, like Rufai, you will hear Rufai say here, I think I stand by what Rufai, which, you know, he put it very, very well. Obviously, what he was just saying.
Very wide. Hand grenade is actually popularly known as tear gas. He hung it on his belt, and in the process, his hand hit on it forcefully from the top, and the thing exploded.
Rufai, this is the police PRO. I have that question for you. Is hand grenade popularly known as tear gas?
I'm shocked too, because tear gas are in canisters. So how is hand grenade? I mean, known as tear grenade is something entirely different too. Tear gas are always in canisters that I know of. And that's why you say you have a tear gas canister. And you have a particular barrel at which you shoot a tear gas canister.
Yeah, but if you go online and search, you will still see that it's called, you know, some people call it hand grenade. Tear gas grenade. Some say tear gas grenade, some say tear gas hand grenade, actually.
That's why this, you know, there are many things you don't know in this country. Like Donald Rumsfeld said, there are some things unknown, and some things we'll never know. One thing I can tell you for free, we'll never know what happened in Ebonyi State. But based on what the police did say, if it's a gas and it's put in a canister and it's suspended under pressure, it can actually explode. I mean, I'll go back to physics now. There's something called Avogadro's law that says equal volumes of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contains the same number of molecules. And definitely, if you have that, and gases that contain the same number of molecules and are heightened at a period of time, then there can actually be an explosive energy on them, and it can explode, actually. So if it's a tear gas canister. But this hand grenade that all of a sudden explodes, is grenade not the one you have to pull out the buckle and throw?
I'm so confused.
That's what a grenade is, isn't it? So this one that you're saying hand grenade, I mean, I don't get it. The analogy by the police officer looks very iffy to me. If it's a tear gas canister, yes, it can explode, and it has to be subjected to a lot of pressure for it to explode.
I'm not sure if you saw that video of the man that, you know, went viral.
Yeah,
it was definitely an explosion, and it was not caused by a tear gas
so if
canister.
it's an explosion, then definitely it's a hand grenade, because the grenade actually explodes.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, I mean, again, I agree with you guys, you know, OG and the Rufai here. It was definitely something that exploded. That is given. But again, if we move away from sentiment and emotional discourse and basically want to look at scientifically based on the damage on the individual's body, I would tend to, without knowing greater details, over obviously having spoken to a couple of people, I would tend to say that you know, maybe we don't entirely know what did happen there, you know, because the damage on the individual's body doesn't prove to me that it was intended for mass destruction. We know, I think we saw in Borno then, when during the good time of Goodluck Jonathan, once I think also in Terminus, I think it was Terminus Jos Market, when suicide bombers struck. Some of them didn't even get to their destination, but the devastation is to actually go kind of be as if it's going to dig up the ground up, you know. But here we are, hoping that eventually
we'll take another story. The senator representing Lagos Central.
Oh, that is the next story. Is what is unbelievable. You don't even. You know, I saw the video, honestly, when I saw the video first, when Tinubu's wife was calling someone a thug. And I'm like, are you for real? I thought she actually meant a dog. But eventually, it became clear that she was saying a thug. And you say, why? You've said you want to rewrite the Constitution. You want to amend the Constitution, not rewrite, sorry, my bad. You want to amend the Constitution. Now, she is the one leading it. She is the one leading it. If she is the one leading this for the Southwest, question then is, why, this is a public hearing, why is she not being gentle to those that will make contributions to what she's leading? Can we have a listen?
Oluremi Tinubu was seen in a video now circulating online, engaging in an altercation on Wednesday at the Southwest Zonal public hearing of the Senate Constitution Review. In the video, the senator appeared to have called a woman a thug. Let's take a look.
Are you madam? Yes, madam. You don't want toxic. I'm not the thug. Please, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, madam. You're my representative. I'm not respectful.
Look, you can hear that. You can hear her telling the woman, shut up. I mean, I'm like, you have come to present something. You say you're working for the people. You want to present this to the same people. And someone is trying to put attention to something, and you're obviously in the public glare and saying, shut up. Cameras are there, and you're still saying, shut up. So
I'm not the thug. Please, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, madam. You're my representative. I'm not respectful. Madam, please. How can you call me a thug? How can you call me
Today I was shocked when I saw this video. Over to you for your analysis.
Have you ever suffered from secondhand embarrassment? When you're mortified by somebody else's action, just watching it. That's what I feel watching that video. It's completely unnecessary. The last time Senator Tinubu called somebody a thug, it was Dino Malaye, and I was one of those who leapt to her defense. You know what I'm like. Because of his reaction, which I felt he threatened to beat her. It was really ugly. But this time around, this is indefensible. It's unfortunate that this had to happen. And I also have a query for the organizers of the event, because what has been reported was that there was a registration process that was stopped prematurely because some people could not get access to the venue, and they were trying to access the venue through a back door because they saw some lawmakers being allowed in through that door. Now, should they have been trying to force their way in or insisting on their rights in that manner? Maybe not, but they do have the right to be there. If they're interested in this conversation, this national conversation, they should not be excluded. So this for me is extremely unfortunate. This is regrettable. It shouldn't have happened.
Very embarrassing. Dr. Bati.
Okay, well, a number of points. I'll try to be very quick. The first is that Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is the leader of the process of the two-day public hearing in the Southwest. And that was held in Lagos. Now, yes.
She is the leader of this public hearing. Did you hear that? She is the leader. And if the leader of a public hearing that is saying that she's there to get the opinion of the people, calling someone thug, and already telling people to shut up. If you're telling people to shut up, how then do you need people's input? You see, when people like Tony Nadi and Ninas argue that the Nigerian Constitution is a fraud, that it was never, the preamble that says, we the people, that preamble itself, makes that constitution a fraud, because the people of Nigeria never said, we want to be one nation, we want to be one, we want to be together in that constitution. So because the people of Nigeria never said they would want to do, whatever you're doing in their name is illegal. Now, how can the people of Southwest say this is what they've agreed that needs to be changed in the current constitution if their input in this exercise, which personally I believe the exercise is just one of those money-wasting exercise where they would go waste money and jamboree sitting allowances, yati, whatnot. It was done in 7th Assembly, I think 8th Assembly chaired by Ike Kuremadu, under Dr. Bukara Salaki, Senate presidency, and it led us to nowhere. There is no single thing that came out of it. Now, in the 9th Assembly, you're repeating that same exercise because there are billions to be made in budgetary allocation.
Today, it continues today. As the leader of that process, I think what she got herself involved in yesterday is not good for our brand. And I say that it's not good for our brand, for the benefit of our PR managers, our media advisors. Earlier on, I had made a point referring to that particular incident that this is a woman who has led many progressive bills, sponsored progressive bills. She has succeeded in some. Correct. She didn't succeed in some. The NIPOS bill, amendment bill, the Police Act amendment bill. She also led something on sexual harassment of students of tertiary institutions that passed. She was also a co-sponsor of the special status for Lagos bill, and all of that. I mean, I can go on and on. But unfortunately, she's not known for that. That's not what our managers are selling. What she's leaving behind, and she has to be careful about that, is this reputation for aggression.
Exactly. She has this reputation for aggression. Remember, I don't want to go in the last election in 2019. Remember that during that election, there was this Igbo person in her area of voting that I think that was a little bit disabled, and he was working with walking stick. It appeared that the person either approached her and begged for arm, and in return, the woman, the senator, turned and said, "Omo Igbo, they hear word. I know they hear word. You're causing trouble." How did Igbo cause trouble in that? It's just that as we say in our place, when you use big leaves, you cover shit so that you can eat. So we have an understanding with our brothers and sisters from the Southwest, so that's why we will use this big leaf to cover shit so that we can move forward and see how we can get to our collective destinations. But what she said in that, again, the Yoruba nation didn't send her to say that, but what she said was despicable. You could not look at someone who was disabled and you're bringing ethnic nonsense to election, bearing in mind that the same time that thing was happening, that people could not vote in Okota. Those areas in Okota where people who lived there, if you lived in Okota, you pay your taxes in Okota, you must vote in Okota. If you live in Enugu and you pay your taxes in Enugu, and you're a resident in Enugu, you must vote in Enugu. You are free to vote whoever you want. There was a time a Fulani man was mayor of Enugu. It didn't happen by accident. Someone like Chief Dr. Njenje won election in a Southwest university, a place populated by the Yorubas. Yorubas gave him that as a student union president. It comes to a time where merit should be the issue in contention here. But sadly, as Ruben is saying, which I would also re-echo here, the woman appeared to be a thug. Her statements, remember when she had issue with Senator Dina Melaya, that Dina Melaya even said some unprintable things to her. And people actually forgot what she said to Dina Melaya and started criticizing Dina Melaya because Dina Melaya said she was going to RAPE her. So you can see that it appears something in her that she must always be thuggish. Put it that way, that she must always be thuggish.
For conflict, for disagreement, particularly with our colleagues. You refer to the Dino Melaye case in July, that was in July 2016. In fact, Dino Melaye was so incensed that he said he would rape her and impregnate her.
Oh, goodness me.
Yes, that was what Dino Melaye said. Because then the famous encounter with Senator Smart Adeyemi, the recent one, in which she was accusing Senator Smart Adeyemi of being a mole in the Senate. Now, there was also another case with one senator, I think Ibrahim Rufai, when it was said that she threatened to slap the man on the floor of the Senate. And then there is also the case with Elisha Abu, the sex toy senator. The sex toy senator, of course. Yes, in that case, she was threatening to suspend the sex toy senator from the assembly. That is what goes out. Yeah. And I don't think that, it's good for our brand. Yeah. However, what happened yesterday, two things I took away from the video. When she was saying, you must be respectful. You must be respectful. And people were saying, Madam, don't follow her. The conflict almost degenerated into physical combat. Yeah. But yesterday she met a match. Because that lady, Arin Oloko, that's her name. She's a politician, she's an educationist, she has a solid pedigree, and she stood up to her. Now, that embarrassment could have been avoided. Third point, this is a public hearing. Everybody should have open access. Mm-hmm. The access should not be restricted to interested parties or the elites. Mm-hmm. What the Senate wants to hear is the opinion of the people. They want to get their input. Right. So the people should be allowed to be part of it, even if they are not going to make a contribution, even if it is just to sit down there and listen. So I think that there's failure in terms of planning. When you are planning an event, you look at what the objective is.
Now, Ruben, I disagree with you here. It's not about planning. It's about, it's about the person. The thuggish lifestyle in her cannot be removed by event planning. Even if you plan the event, was anybody planning the things that happened? You enumerated them here. Was anybody planning that in the House of the Senate? No, it is in her. It is
perhaps in her. The choice of the venue was the problem. Maybe they should have chosen a bigger space where nobody will feel discouraged to be there or will be shut out of it. And you could see the people, they said they must be part of it. Finally, this is also not good for the image of the Senate. It's also not good for the idea of the constitutional amendment.
I like that point.
And I hope that people will review the process in Lagos and elsewhere, will not turn around and say that what was supposed to be a democratic, open, participatory process resulted in a situation whereby people were alienated and shut out. It's a big minus. And it's unfortunate that he is the leader of the process in the Southwest that is at the center of it. She owes Mrs. Arin Oloko an apology. Correct. They both live in Ikoyi.
The question is, will she do it? Will she actually, for the first time, agree that she was wrong and go and apologize?
I hope she will walk across to her house and apologize, and they will make up.
Very well said. Rufai, your quick analysis on the story so we could take our final story.
Oh, yeah, Oji, isn't it surprising? Now they're calling us thugs because we want to speak about our nation and share our ideas as regards how our nation can move forward. Now they're calling us thugs. Anyway, that's what they feel about us anyway.
Exactly.
Aren't we thugs? We're thugs.
Another thug.
No, I'm a thug. I'm proud to be a thug.
I think Rufai was excellent here. For those of you joining me for the first time, can you kindly, I beg you, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And for those of you in the comment section, I beg you, can we keep it civil? We can always put our views. I know that Nigeria is hurting all of us, but in that, we can always still be civil to one another. Let us not, add to the issues that or let us not add to issues that will compound our woes in the place we now find ourselves. So if you can kindly like this video so that it will show up on your friends, page that you liked it, and so that they would also enjoy what we are currently enjoying. The conversation, and I'm reading the comments are so fantastic and so wonderful. I would thank you all for keeping it civil this evening, and I'll beg you to keep keeping it civil. Also, when you keep it civil, YouTube and Facebook does not hide your comments. But when you start using certain words, the algorithm finds this word and they block it. So some of you say, Maz, you block my comment. No, I don't. I don't block comment. I don't need to. But once there are some certain comments, certain words you use, them automatically they are blocked. There is nothing you can do about it. Your comment will not show. But if you keep it civil, you still pass your message. And, someone can also reply you in a civil manner. So let's make it happen. Hit the like button. Support the channel if you can, the broadcast, and also endeavor to share this video. There is a share button there. Share to others, share to WhatsApp groups, emails, however you want to share it, go ahead and share it. So let's conclude this segment with Rufai again about talk or no talk. But one thing I can tell us is you can only take a talk to know one.
They can call me a thug all they want because we want to add our voices to this nation. Because we want to speak against the politicians that have looted this nation and have turned the country around upside down to the level it is today, and part of our national rights, and somebody calls you a thug. Anyway, I'm not surprised. That's the way politicians feel about citizens in this country. And I'll say it pervasively, and I'm not making a fallacy of hasty generalization. They don't care about us. Something happened in 2010 in the UK. Gordon Brown was said to have done something just like this. He called a woman bigoted because the woman shared opposing views. Once the story broke, Gordon Brown called the woman Duffy, that's her name, called her up and apologized to her. Our dear senator was insisting yesterday, I'm not going to apologize.
So you can see, when it happened in England, obviously, the prime minister at that point apologized. But here we are, someone is sticking to the gun saying, I'm not going to apologize. Well, it all shows you how your leaders, the bottom line is that your leaders think that they are gods. In conclusion here, I will show us a clip, if you haven't seen this clip, to show you how your leaders think so little about you. Here you will see a video of the Kaduna State governor whom gets into an event. The car stops. Instead of him coming out, somebody will come and open the door for the person sitting in the front car. For the person sitting in the front car to come back and open the door for the governor. So it is now called I don't know, multiple door opening or whatever we may call it. I'll quickly find that video, or I'll call it the car opening. Basically, that's that. So quickly, I think the video, maybe my internet is becoming low again. I don't know what's happening here. And someone is saying here, Chris Aigbo Khan said, Gordon Brown lost the election after that incident. Never, ever. It will never, ever happen in Nigeria. You know why? Because Nigerians love their oppressors. When it will get to the point of re-electing Mrs. Tinubu again, Nigerians will prefer to go collect bag of rice boldly with the face of Tinubu's wife written on it. They will go collect their own palliative in advance and go again and vote back the same person that have been oppressing them. Let me see. I think the video is here. Let me see if I can play that video once more. You see what I mean here? So hold on. You will see someone will come out from this car. You see that? The first black car, right? Run. You see? Go and open this car. So the one in light blue comes down. Then gives him his phone and charge it. Now go and open the car for the governor. I watched this one. I said, now, you see the way the governor, even in all his shortness, he's walking like someone who is 6 foot tall. You see, even in all his being blessed with small stature, he's still walking like, you know, like someone who is maybe 6'6". Come on. When you watch this, you think, you know, tell me how people behaving like this will respect you. These are people going abroad to borrow money. Those they are borrowing these monies from their own countries are riding bicycles. Those they are borrowing money do not have drivers because nobody in the United Kingdom or US, many of them say that they cannot afford chauffeur. They cannot afford driver. They can't. They drive themselves. Joe Biden, the today American president, the reason why he stopped using train is because he's become a president. In his 20-something years, if not something years of being a senator, he rode the train. People knew when he would come, the time his train will come, he would go and catch the train. Someone said it in the comment section before that Boris Johnson in the United Kingdom goes to shop and buys his own grocery as a mayor. Can anybody be mayor in Nigeria that he will just, the common local government chairman will be driving your mom coming back from market, they will just run the woman over. You and I, in our little keke, they would nearly take their escorts. It's just madness. I was once driving towards Aba. I left Umuahia driving on Aba Enugu Aba Port Harcourt Expressway. You can imagine the two lanes. You know, in Nigeria, the left lane is the one you use at speed lane to overtake a car. On my right is these, on that left, in that speed lane, I had a truck hogging the lane. I horned, it couldn't get out. I horned and I was like, why would I be doing the wrong thing all the time, overtaking from the right, because that is wrong. I did that, moved away. Now, stayed on the right, expecting the guy on my back to have done the same thing. If you're not, because I don't speed in a road that if any road that I do not use frequently, I don't speed because I don't know. After my incident in Insecurity, where coming from Uturu, going into Insecurity, where erosion has cut a road into two. So if I was speeding, I won't be talking to you today because with that speed, erosion has cut the road into two. There is no way I would know that that road is cut into two. And before you apply brake, there was no, when I say no sign, no nothing, not even to use three, leaves, not even to put up a sign that might be 10 or 15, 20,000, not even to maybe pour two laterals there to say caution, nothing. So imagine if you're speeding in that kind of road. So my story has it this way. While I was on that road, suddenly I heard wing, and I was just driving on my own. And these guys gone past me. But because I was maintaining my speed of 100 kilometers per hour, it appears I was still they'd gone past me, I'm coming close to them. And the escort in Hilos started swerving like this in my front. I'm like, are you guys normal? It's not enough that you guys are running like mad people, you're now doing like this. I was about to break down, to start slowing down. The one started shouting, waka, 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 waka. Why are you driving fast towards? I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a federal road. I pay my taxes. So if I pay my taxes, I can use the road. So you can see the mentality of those, even those that oppress you, that they kind of see that you are nothing. But trust Nigerians. When this video, started trending, I saw another one that really cracked me up. I said, I cannot show the first video without showing the second one. So Nigerians now went and did their own video and took the phone, and I'll call it phone, and not, see here, what Nigerians now did, based on the video, the first video you saw, Nigerians now did this. The first person opened door for second person opened door for third person. Those weapons. Nigerians never kill me. Oh, dear. Never do. As much like this video. As much. I mean, in the midst of the madness happening in Nigeria, what else can you do? You can only try to find a way to, ease the tension, because the tension is too high. Insecurity everywhere, and people are just praising. People are basically, it's a rankadede economy. See it? It's a rankadede economy. So guys, these guys really made my day. That door opening, and I'm like, watching that governor. Let me look at that again. Let me look at that again. No, sorry, not this one. Watching that governor, really, honestly, and I'm like, what is actually wrong? Maybe, you might not like Chibika Amechi. I think that's one thing I like about Amechi, actually. Chibike Rotimi Amechi, the former governor of Rivers State, that he drives himself. Likewise, myself. What is it? How can you actually have a car? People don't know. You can actually, you enjoy, when you say, I've driven, what's it called? I don't know. I've never driven don't even know their names, them cars. Is it G-Wagon or G whatever? I don't know. I only see them on the road. I only see them on the road. I haven't even entered into one. It's to tell you that those things don't bother me. As long as it moves, I'm comfortable with that. So at the end of the day, you can see the people that govern you. One, starting from a politician, calling another woman, a fellow woman, a thug. Because you had disagreement with her, you call her a thug. Two, you get into a sitting governor, states that go borrow money, they don't pay, just go borrow money and do whatever they want to do with it. But those you're borrowing the money from do not have the level of luxury you have. You have many governors in the South today. They still go by private jet and go with an avalanche of essays, PAs, whatever it is, where they could have saved money to work for the people. They wouldn't. Or is it the head of them all, the oracle himself? The oracle that before he speaks to us, we must bring 2 yams, 15 kola nuts, 10 alligator pepper, 5 blind flies, maybe a pregnant she-goat before she can talk to us. Not to talk less of before he can attend the burial of his own chief of army staff. Oh, he doesn't want to attend the burial because he doesn't like traffic. From a distance that is less than 10 minutes drive. A distance. First, you can see how sometimes government and their people are so stupid and silly. They started with the argument, it wasn't government. A president doesn't attend any event that is less than 48 hours notice because the security details need to go make sure that everywhere is intact. It appears that one didn't fly. Now you heard Shehu Gaba, whom I nearly called Shehu Garbage, but thank God I didn't call him Shehu Garbage. Yeah? saying that the president don't like it when people suffer because of traffic, and that's why he couldn't. Now, okay, Shehu Gaba, tell us, why is it that the president doesn't talk to Nigerians? A country that he contested so keenly 3 times over 12 years period, a country that he removed an elected president and committed treasonable felony by virtue of that coup that he removed Alex Ekweme and the then president Shehu Shagari. He committed treasonable felony by removing an elected government. In all this, eventually, he came. Speak to the people. Tell them why you were, the reason why you committed the coup, the reason why you contested the 3rd time, 3 times, the reason why even after you won the 4th time, you won the 5th time. Or sorry, if you won on the 4th attempt and also won your 5th attempt. So then, if somebody now asks you, why were you trying all these years in a span of 20-something years to govern this nation? So when some people begin to suspect that there is a more sinister plan or hidden agenda beneath it, you don't blame the people. Like the governor of Attahiru said, and I loved that he wrote that letter. And honestly, I believe that maybe the presidency actually did not understand that letter Attahiru wrote, that he actually, wrote that letter to Buhari. They might thought he wrote it to Shehu Gaba. They might think that he was only responding to Shehu Gaba, right? But that letter, I don't know if you haven't read it, open grazing. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I just need to see if I can honestly find it, because when I read it, it gave me the confidence. I'm a confession here. It got me the confidence that actually the people in power sometimes understand this complaint. You and I are complaining every blessed day. But maybe there is something in the waters that they drink. Or maybe there is, I don't know, maybe beyond the waters, maybe something doesn't allow them to, speak up. Maybe. And I believe that is what the issue. Okay. Okay, hey, I think I found it. I'll conclude with this one. I'll just read part of it. OC Ekwam, OC, thank you once more for the other time for the PayPal. Well acknowledged. Thank you very much. Good evening. Ekwam, OC Ekwam, OCJ. Were you once in the police? Because that name sounded like the way we say OC now, officer. Adama Garbage. God, you guys are wicked. Maybe, do you want to find a new name? Those in the comment section, can you find a new name for Shehu? Let's see which one will be the best name to give him. Because Shehu appeared to be pissing everybody off in Nigeria today. He's done that. We have spokesperson. Remember when we had, who is now the editor of This Day? What's his name? Denny. When we had Adeni, yes, you can disagree in principle, but Adeni was smart. Adeni made sense. I used to read Ruben Abati until he went to Jonathan. I didn't like that he went to Jonathan, but at least he wasn't. He did Abati. Neither did Abati talk this nonsense. But it makes sense. But the only thing I didn't agree with him was when Abati started talking about the demons in Nazareth. maybe the demons in Nazareth is why they all misbehave. I don't know. But let me bring down the response from Attahiru. on open grazing. And honestly, I really, really liked it. Now, let me see if you can quickly maximize this so that you can read with me. Let me remove this as well so that you can read with me. So let me go. I will start by highlighting this. Now, it says the Ogun State, my God, why do Ogun, I'm beginning to maybe talk like an airplane driver now. Okay, the Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi, ambassador, the senior assistant to the president on media and publicity to the president, Major General Muhammad Buhari, Mr. Gabashew, over the letters recent comment on the solution of the resolution of 19 southern governors made at a meeting in Asaba Delta State. Shehu, in a statement allegedly from the presidency, was quoted to have gone against the resolution of the 17 governors. Akeredolu, who described Shehus as an agent provocateur, you see, agent provocateur, said that the presidential media aide was not speaking for President Muhammad Buhari on the ban on open grazing, which is one of the resolutions of the Southern Governors Forum. This was contained in a statement issued by the SSA on special duties and strategy, Ode Bowale, on Tuesday, titled Mr. Gaba Shehu on the trail of agent provocateur. The statement then reads, now come with me and come and see bombardment. It says here, anyone who has been following the utterances of this man, now referring to Shehu Gaba, as well as his fellow travelers on the self-deluding, mendacious, but potentially dangerous itinerary to anarchy, cannot but conclude that he works audaciously for extraneous interest whose game plan stands at variance with the expectations of genuine lovers of peaceful coexistence among other people whose ethnic extractions are indigenous to Nigeria. Now, he understood this message. This latter part of this segment here are saying that they think that this, what he's been saying and doing, goes against the ethnic group or other extractions who are indigenous to Nigerians in actual sense. It means he is indirectly saying, leave us alone, you are not indigenous to Nigeria. If you begin to do content analysis on this, well, let's continue. It says, Mr. Gabbard, again here highlighted for ease of read, Mr. Gabbard must disclose this day the real motive or motives of those he serves, definitely not the president. He cannot continue to hide under some opaque, omnibus, dubious directive to create confusion in the polity. The easy recourse to mendacious upiti. Hey, Oyibo, this is upiti OGBT. In pushing a barely disguised, pernicious agendum. Hell, this is for people that have bars. When you say addendum, it's well understood. The declaration that the commission of the Minister of Agriculture, Alhaji Sabo, a mere political appointee like Gaba, are now the lasting solutions which eluded all the elected representative of the people of southern part of this country, exposing this man as a pitiable messenger who does not seem to understand the limit of his relevance and charge. What this section also did again, which I hope they understood it again, because sometimes it's quite funny. He started saying that he definitely not speaking for the president is not true. The statement is actually directed to the president, but again, to make it look politically correct, he said definitely not speaking for the president. It means this is for the president. That's what it means. And here, let me take the last bit. Here it says, Mr. Gaba contends that their announcement is of questionable legality, referring to the 17 governors of the southern states, but the decision of certain elements to take the ancestral land, that is the one that sweet may pass. And I said, with this, we can forgive some of them because they actually understand even more than you and I do. But maybe because they don't say them openly. Say here, I take that again, pardon me, please. I was a little bit excited because I got to the meat of the matter. Mr. Gaba contends that the announcement is of questionable legality, referring to the 17 governors of the southern states, but the decision of certain elements to take the ancestral land of other people to settle their kits, to settle their kinsmen, including gun-wielding killer headsmen and their families, and provide veterinary clinic, water points for animal, facilities for herders and their families, including schooling through these rehabilitated reserves for which the federal government is making far-reaching and practical change, allowing these different communities to coexist side by side, does not appear to him as a comprehensive plan for land grabbing. Do you understand what this actually says? It means that they actually understand that this is what the governor is saying. He's saying in plain English, we actually know that your plan to have this, look at this, your plan to have all these people, all these gun-wielding people to be settled here, where you give them water points for their animals, you give them facilities for the, for the herders and their families, including schooling through these rehabilitated reserves. That means in these reserves, so all these things that eventually is going to come into internal colonialism. He wants to revive forest reserves, but seems particularly uninterested in the current position of the same law that he and his cohorts often misinterpret to serve parochialism and greed. Governors no longer have, and this one sweet me past, governors no longer have the powers over the land in their territories. They must take instruction from appointees of the federal government of such matters. Again, this section piggies back to the president. This one is telling the president, we, the southern region of Nigeria, actually understands what you are trying to do. That is the simple summary of this. We know all your mischievousness. Now, even here he says, it is superfluous, and it's also been charitable for anyone to remind us of the constitutional right of bona fide citizens to enjoy rights and freedom within every one of our 36 state and FCT, regardless of their state of birth and residence. There has never been any contention of these provisions through. This has never been in contention. No one has ever said that a Fulani man cannot live in Enugu. No. What the people are saying, leave the bushes, live in the communities. Cows. No one has ever said a Fulani man or Hausa man or any person cannot sell cow. No. What they say, if you want to sell cow in our markets, in the garages, yes, you can. You have the right. But please, can you not move these cows on road? That is that simple. Is that too much to is that too much to ask? Then here in conclusion, he says, it is clear that Mr. Gaba seems to have issues, understanding the difference between licentious criminality and qualified rights under our law. It is our duty to continually nudge him off his current state of cognitive. If this guy understands this, he will definitely drink fermented brukutu. Because if somebody is now telling you, up to the point of now saying that it is our duty to continuously nudge him off his current state of cognitive his cognitive dissonance here, it means that the person has actually, killed you to death. If I may borrow the words of the Senate president, the person has actually killed you to death. So you might Google this thing and read, and read the entire post to yourself. Basically, what it now means, people. Sorry. What it now means is, when you look at these things, you find out that, like I keep saying, these people sometimes we take them that they don't really represent us, that they don't understand what we mean. They do. Well, after reading this letter, I thought to myself, Mr. President must hear about this. Buhari must read this letter. One thing is to read. The other is to understand. Now, before I conclude here, I'll use 2 minutes to take your comment and look at the names you've given to Shehu Gaba. So let me see which one. Okay, I think not so many names. Apologies. Let's see if continues to be often. Yeah, I think someone is talking about Tinubu. About is a brown. No. Come on, people, come off it. I don't like it when you people see. Some of us, I think, our position are sometimes too static and too rigid. 1999, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004. Every Friday I must read Ruben Abati's page. It's one of the most brilliant writer Nigeria has. Very, very celebrate. Again, I begrudge him not that he served the president, that he served Goodluck Jonathan. The bulk stops at the president table. Okay? So having said that, yes, someone can make one or two mistakes, but keep constant heaping, he's a brown, please. I don't entertain such. It actually diminishes you in conversation. I don't want to mention them, but you know yourself. It diminishes conversation when serious things are being discussed, and all you can contribute is that Mr. Ruben Abati is a brand. Come on, is Abati, hate him or like him, indeed, is a very, very, very well read, and he's a good cerebral mind. So, people, thank you very much for joining me. So, your questions, and I can see people are now going off, having conversations. But it's been wonderful having you this so far. Let's not make the broadcast go too far. Thank you once more for joining me. Join me tomorrow. It's Friday. Friday Hangout. We will be having our usual telephone call. The topic we're going to be discussing tomorrow, I'll let you guess that. And again, for many of you, on the 30th, being the Sunday, the 30th, on this platform, we will be streaming the World Igbo Congress Biafra Hero Remembrance. I will be moderating that session with my good friend and senior colleague, Dele Mamodu. Keep a date with us. Sunday evening here, we will come on. It's that event is loaded. That event is indeed loaded. Okay, so keep a date with us, but keep a date with me tomorrow. I will be doing my Friday hangouts. Saturday, we will do our street parliament, where we make these decisions. And we wish, because these things, we will wish that things are the way you and I are seeing it and the way you and I think it should be. On that note, I will say thank you once more for joining me. Have a blessed evening. Peace out.